Welcome in again. You can go ahead and come to a seat, whatever that looks like for you. And then if it feels safe in your body and in your environment to let your eyes close, invitation to close your eyes down. And take the next few moments to move into your breath. And for the time being, letting it be exactly as it is, not trying to change it or shift it or adjust it, but becoming the witness of where your breath is in your body at the moment. And then we'll start to move into a conscious shift of the breath, moving into a square breath. And so first take a deep breath in through your nose and invitation to let it go with a sigh. On your inhale, inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath at the top. 2, 3, 4. Exhale everything out. 2, 3, 4. Stay empty at the bottom. 2, 3, 4. So creating that square. Breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale down. 2, 3, 4. Hold on empty. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. And hold. And twice more. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. And hold. Last one. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. And hold. Allow your next inhale to come in naturally. And at the peak of your inhale, gently soften into your exhale, again, coming into your own rhythm. And so working within the structure that we have, working within the body, the breath that we have this evening. We're going to keep it a little more structured tonight. So sometimes we are a little bit more fluid. Today's going to be a little bit more structured, staying a little bit longer in the shapes, giving ourselves a little bit more time to explore. And so the invitation is to see where in the structure you can still find your breath. And just like we took the breath in that square shape within our mind's eye, can you let your breath move through your posture as we find perhaps little nuances, little spaces to create more openness. And so with the idea of openness and structure living and residing within us, go ahead and bring your hands together. You might set your intention around this concept. You might set an intention as one you've been working with, or perhaps you dedicate your practice outwardly this evening. Wherever you are, take a deep breath in through your nose. And an exhale out through your mouth. When you feel connected in, release your hands back down. If your eyes are closed, slowly open the lids of your eyes. And we'll get started. So we'll actually start lying down this evening. So you can remove anything underneath your sits bones, make your way onto your back with a bend into your knees. And then take a moment to adjust, letting your low back feel supported by the earth. Let your feet be about hip width distance apart. And we'll come into our figure four first, kind of moving through that square breath and then moving into figure four. So when you're ready, take your right leg up. Before you go anywhere, take a moment to point and flex. Just get into your right ankle. Maybe you draw some circles, noticing how that moves through your calf, the outside lines of your knees, your quadricep, your hamstring. And then bring a flex to your foot, always the option to keep this off, bend to your knees, externally rotate that right leg, so toes to the right, and then bend into your right knee so you have right ankle towards left thigh. Press your right knee away. Now, first shape of the practice, so you might choose to stay here. Today, we tend to do this at the end of practice, but just know that it might be a little different at the beginning of practice. So you're welcome to stay right here. As always, if you want to explore hugging your left leg in, maybe you take your time in doing so. And perhaps you extend that left heel high if you'd like that variation. And then in the shape, in the structure, where is there space to send your breath? And we'll stay here for 6 rounds of breath. And take one more inhale. If your left leg's extended, slowly start to bring your left foot all the way back down to the ground. Re-extend your right leg high. And then point your right toes so that you've got that extension in the front of your ankle, and slowly, slowly start to trace a line of your foot as if you could lengthen your leg. Take a lot more time than you think is possible to extend your right leg all the way down to the ground. Oops, or a piece of furniture. Once your right leg finds the floor, hug your left knee in towards your chest. Take an inhale. As you exhale, option to lift head, neck, and shoulders, re-hover that right leg and then swap. So we're gonna move into the core for a bit, finding the stability in your center. Take it at your own pace and think of really extending through your legs here. So not only is your core finding stability, but you're finding the length in both of your legs. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug both of your knees in towards your chest. Let your head rest back down onto the floor, and a couple side to side rocks or some circular motions here. Slowly start to bring both of your knees back to center. Release both of your feet down to the floor. And when you're ready, this time stamp your right foot down as you extend your left leg up. Again, a couple moments to explore through your ankle, see how that translates through the rest of your leg. When you're ready, come back to a flexed foot position. Find that external rotation, left toes to the left, and then find your figure 4 on this side. Again, first shape on this side. So maybe you stay here. Maybe you explore some other options by hugging your right knee in, or perhaps extending your right heel high. And again, we're going to stay a little longer tonight. So 6 full rounds of breath here to explore. Are there places that you can soften? Are there places that you can move deeper into? And so what becomes available when we stay long enough to notice? And take one more inhale. As you exhale, start to release your right foot back down to the floor. When you're ready, re-extend your left leg high, point your toes. So again, you're going to lengthen as you move. So imagine you can lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Really take your time as you extend your left leg all the way, eventually finding the floor. So really finding that strength and length. I always find there's a point where the leg starts to feel real heavy. And then eventually your left leg will find the floor. When that happens, draw your right knee in towards your chest. So option to do the same thing. Or if you want to play around with scissor kicks with extended legs, you can extend your right leg. As you exhale, lift head, neck, and shoulders, and then hover your left leg and swap. So again, take it at your own pace. Let the stability start from your core, but also move down into the extension of your legs. Make sure you're still breathing. And we'll take it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug your knees in towards your chest, head and neck to the floor, and again, a couple rocks or some circles. And gently start to bring your knees back to center. Release your feet back down to the ground. Press down so that you can roll over to one side or the other. And we'll press ourselves up to a seat. Option to find something to sit on if you'd like that variation. And then we'll start with extended legs. So take your right leg to the upper right-hand corner. Take the sole of your left foot onto the inside line. And then we'll find that slight rotation of your back. So you're moving towards the the right leg. Hands to the floor, lift up through your torso. And then we're going to take this in increments. So start to fold forward till you start to feel something in your hamstring and calf. And then we're going to stop there. Keep drawing your toes back. Keep your heart space lifted. And maybe even imagine your shoulder blades kind of dropping down your back. So there's space in your neck. Notice what's happening in the shape. Take an inhale. And then if there's space, start to inch your way forward a little bit more. And then pause, adjust, shoulder blades down, lift up through your heart, keep your gaze forward, inhale. Option to exhale, find a little more space. And then you can do this as long as you want. When you find your edge, we're going to stay for a full 6 rounds of breath. Seeing if you can maintain the integrity of the shape throughout your breath. Slowly start to walk yourself all the way back up. Unravel your torso and gently switch sides. So you can take your left leg out long, sole of your right foot onto the inside line, left leg a little out to the left, and then find that rotation. So different side, different experience. Start by lifting up, keeping a long spine. And as you exhale, start to hinge just a little bit, just till you start to feel some sensation in the back of that left leg, and then pause. Lift up through your heart. Keep your gaze forward, drop your shoulder blades down your back. Keep drawing your left toes back, take an inhale. And then inch your way forward a little bit more. Nice. Pause. Lift your heart, lift your gaze, drop your shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, take up a little more space. And then keep this going as long as you want until you find your edge. And once you find your edge, we'll stay there for 6 full rounds of breath. Slowly start to walk yourself all the way back up. Turn your torso back to center. All right, here we go. Both legs forward, about hip width distance. Maybe a soft bend to your knees. Lift up through your torso, hands towards the ground. Abdominals draw in and up. So there's stability in your front body that's going to help with the back body. And then again, start to walk forward a little bit. And then once you feel something, pause. Take an inhale, reestablish your shape. Exhale, keep going. Pause. Shoulder blades down, gaze up, lengthen. Last one here, exhale, start to fold a little bit deeper. And pause, and then stay with the sensation. Two more breaths. And slowly start to walk yourself all the way back up to a tall seat. Keep your right leg extended, bend into your left knee. Stay on the inside line or take it to the outside line, finding your twist. Right arm gives you the squeeze, or you might take the right arm to the outside line. Left arm reaches behind. Find the integrity of your base first. Lift up when you're ready, and then exhale, start to rotate over to the left. And we'll stay here for 5 breaths. Find any nuances that you might change by staying here longer. And then gently start to unravel your shape. Come back to center. Release both of your feet to the ground. So a couple options here. You might bring your hands behind you, fingertips face forward, elbows more or less are underneath the shoulders. Press down to your feet. Either push down and lift up just from your heart, or push down and start to lift your hips up towards a reverse tabletop. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, release your hips back down to the ground and walk yourself back up. This time, extend your left leg long, sole of your right foot to the floor, inside line or the outside line. Left arms gives you the squeeze, or maybe left arm to the outside line. Right arm is going to be that kickstand. Lift up and lengthen. Find the stability of your legs first. Let that translate through your core as you start to turn to the right. And again, 5 full rounds of breath once you're in your shape. Slowly start to unravel yourself back to center, unravel your torso. Second round, either both of your feet to the floor, hands back, press down, lift up. Maybe you take a reverse tabletop, or you can extend both of your legs, push your feet down, push your hips up, lift up, full breath in. And as you exhale, release your hips back down to the ground on the breath out. Walk yourself forward, crisscross your ankles or sweep to the side, and transition all the way on to hands and knees. Press down to your palms, press down to your shins. As you inhale, drop your belly, look forward, lengthen. As you exhale, push down, round up. Twice more, inhale to lengthen. Exhale to round. One more time, inhale, lengthen. And exhale, round. Find a neutral tabletop, walk your hands forward, tuck your toes underneath, and when you're ready, start to head up and back, downward facing dog. Take your time to adjust here. Maybe some bends, some sways. Look forward, couple options today. You can either walk yourself forward, or maybe you step one foot forward and then the other, and we'll all move to Uttanasana, forward fold. Take your time to get there, shift your weight forward and back. When you're ready, slide up to your half lift. Walk your hands to your hips, bend your knees, sit back, and then press down strong. Come all the way up to Tadasana, mountain pose. Nice. Press to your feet, sweep your arms up. Exhale, hinge at your hip points, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, palms to the ground, step your right foot back, followed by your left high plank. Hold here, knees up or knees down, full breath in. Maintain on your breath out. Shift your weight forward, lower all the way down to belly. Untuck your toes, unravel baby cobra one time. Exhale, forehead to the floor. Tuck your toes underneath any way you want to arrive. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. Take 3 full cycles of breath once you get there. Look forward, either walk forward or step your opposite foot forward. And we'll all meet at Uttanasana, forward fold. When you're ready, inhale to a half lift. Hands to your hips, bend your knees, sit back, use your leg strength, rise tall, Tadasana, mountain pose. Press to your feet, lift up. Exhale, take the dive, fold back down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, palms to the ground, left foot steps back, followed by the right, high plank. Stay here, knees up or knees down, full breath in. Full breath out. Another breath in. And another breath out. Shift forward, lower down any way you like. Unravel to a baby cobra or maybe cobra. Thighs stay down, but heart lifts. And exhale, release. Tuck your toes underneath, up and back, downward facing dog. 3 full rounds of breath once you get there. Bend to your knees, look forward, walk, step, or hop between your hands, Uttanasana. Inhale to a half lift. Hands to your hips, last one here, bend down, press down, rise up, Tadasana, mountain pose. All right, bring your hands to your hips, shift the weight to your left foot. And when you're ready, step your right foot back. Ground down through your back right heel. So you've got heel to heel or heel to arch alignment. And then from a standing position, we're going to find our warrior 2. Knee is over your ankle, maybe slightly behind. Think of engaging your back quadricep and then letting your tailbone drop, right? You can engage your low abdominals, kind of pull up on your core to let your back body release. Take your arms out wide to a T. Flip your palms up, feel that external rotation of your shoulders. Stay here or maybe maintain the external rotation, but flip your palms back down. Gaze can be forward. Soften your shoulders. 5 rounds of breath. And so what does it feel like to stay in the integrity, to stay in the fire? Notice if one part of your body starts to soften. Can you keep it active, keep it engaged without overacting or clenching? I find that seems to be the challenge. Keep a bend into your front knee, flip your front left palm. Reach up and back, reverse your warrior. And then we're gonna add some movement. Bring your forearm to your thigh, extended side angle. Inhale, up and back. Exhale to reach. Keep the strength in that front leg one more time. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, release. Inhale up to your warrior 2. Straighten your front leg, option to shorten your stance. Engage both of your quadriceps. And then back right hip to your hand. And then press your hand to your hip, start to reach forward. And then eventually you can bring that left hand somewhere onto your leg other than the knee joint. Rotate your top shoulder up and back. And then think of extending. So just as much as you can send your tailbone back, imagine your crown goes forward, use your core strength. Option to look up, option to take your right hand up, Trikonasana triangle pose. And then check in with your legs. Keep the stability of your legs, keep pushing into your feet. You might even imagine your front heel kind of pulls to your back heel, not going to go anywhere, but that isometric contraction can find some stability. Big breath in. And a big breath out. Take one more inhale. If your gaze is up, release your gaze first. Bend into your front knee. Come back up to your warrior 2. Straighten your front leg again, hands to your hips. Walk that back foot in a little bit. And then generous bend to both your knees in order to step forward. Tadasana, mountain pose. Take a moment to feel left and right. See if there's any differences. And then shift the weight over into your right foot as you step your left foot back. Once you find your left foot back, ground down through that back heel. Again, heel to arch or heel to heel alignment. Find the space of your feet, open up through your arms, and then settle in warrior 2, opposite side. So really building from the ground up, press your feet down, engage your quads, engage your core, lift your heart, Maybe you flip your palms, keep that external rotation. Maybe you flip your palms back down. And then we stay here and breathe. Keep the engagement, keep the integrity. All right, keep your legs nice and strong. Flip your front palm, reach up and back, reverse. Reach forward and down, extended side angle. Nice. 2 more. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, reach forward. 1 more. Inhale, lengthen up and back. Exhale, reach forward. Nice. Press to your feet. Come back up, warrior 2. Straighten your front leg. Whew. Maybe you walk in your back foot. Left hand to hip, and then move in 2 directions. Hip back, hand forward, reach, reach. And then find your quad, your shin, a block, as long as it's not your knee joint. Re-extend. Hip back, heart forward. This top hip doesn't have to be stacked. It can be down a little bit. It can be up a little bit. So that's going to be up to you. And then roll your shoulder up and back maybe. Start to shift your gaze up. Maybe you take your left arm towards the ceiling. Press to your feet. Maybe find that isometric pull, pulling from front to back. And breathe. Take another breath in. If your gaze is up, release your gaze to the floor. Take a big bend to your knees. Press down, come up to warrior 2. Straighten your front leg, hands to your hips, pivot that back foot in. And again, nice big bend to your knees. You step all the way forward, Tadasana mountain pose. Take a moment to feel left and right. And when you're ready, inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend to your knees, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, palms to the ground. Step 1 foot back, then the other, high plank. Hold here for a breath in. Hold here for a breath out. 2 more. Last one. Shift your weight forward, lower all the way down to your belly. Untuck your toes, unravel baby cobra, cobra, or up dog. This time, option to bring your forehead to the floor, or from your back bend, tuck your toes, engage your core, lift up and back, downward facing dog, 3 cycles of breath. Bend into your knees, look forward, walk, step, or hop between your hands, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale to a half lift. This time as you exhale, fold back down, shift the weight to your left foot, step your right foot all the way back. Keep your toes to the ground, press down to your front foot. When you're ready, lift your torso up and come all the way into your high lunge. So take a moment to play around. Do you want to be high on your toes? Do you want to be low on your toes? Do you want to be deep in your bend? Do you want to be high in your bend? So let the legs find their space first. Core pulls in. Notice what that does to the front of the right hip crease. Then take your arms up and overhead. Soften your shoulders down. Engage your abdominals, lift up just as much as you settle into your legs. Take a deep breath in and out. Notice what's happening with your back glute and hamstring. See if you can engage it to find a little more space. Bring your hands down to your heart space. Take an inhale. When you're ready, take your right elbow to the outside line of your left leg. Now, option to drop your back knee here. Press into your palms, look forward so you lift up so you're not hanging out on that front thigh. Engage your core and start to twist your torso over to the left. Notice if your left hip kind of hangs out on the side. Think of drawing your left hip back, pressing your right heel back, lengthening your crown forward. Take a big breath in. And out. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath. Exhale, gaze to the ground, hands to the floor. If your back knee is down, go ahead, lift it. And then pivot over to the long edge of your mat. So you have a wide leg forward fold straddle position. Toes and heels more or less will line up. Hands to the floor or your blocks. Tailbone back, look forward, inhale. Engage your quadriceps, find that hinge at the hip points, start to fold forward. Hands can walk back if you want. Maybe there's some sort of bind that you're playing with. And again, 5 full rounds of breath. Walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. And then we're going to keep pivoting. So keep turning. So now you're probably going to be facing the back of your mat. So you're taking a low, a runner's lunge on the opposite side. Press down to your front foot. When you're ready, lift your arms all the way up. Take a moment to find your high lunge. Then again, on this side, toes up, toes down, hips up. Kind of find where your space is in your legs. Engage that back glute and quadricep and hamstring. Draw your navel in and up, then take your arms up. So really building your shape, building the structure, and breathe. One more inhale. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Take your left elbow to the outside line of your right thigh. Push down, look forward, lengthen. Send that left hip point back, or right hip point back, send the heel back, send the gaze forward. And then when you're ready, rotate over to the right. Gaze to the floor, hands to the floor, look forward, pivot to the long edge of your mat again. This time you can bring your heels and toes so they're a little bit off kilter. So heels and a little bit toes out. We're gonna find some movement so you can gently bend to one side and to the other side. So you might keep it pretty high here. You might wanna take it a little bit lower. So you might go all the way down, lift up onto one heel, shift it to the other side, lift up onto the other heel. So lots of options. And then when you're ready, come back to center. Start to walk yourself back to the front of your mat, low runner's lunge. Step your front foot to meet your back foot, high plank. Take one breath in, and then we're gonna head on down on the breath out. Whew. Go ahead, stay on your belly once you get there. Untuck your toes, reach your palms back. And then maybe lift and lower your legs so there's a little more space in the fronts of your hips. Press the tops of your feet down. Press your hip points down, press your hands down. Inhale, lengthen your crown forward. Keep the gaze towards the front of your mat so your neck spine is long. Stay here, or maybe you lift your arms. Full breath in. Full breath out. Let your whole body help you in this shape. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale everything to the floor. One cheek to the mat or walk your hands up. Bring your forehead to the mat. Hips can stay neutral, or it might feel good to rock your hips a little side to side. Preparing for our second round, reach your palms back, forehead back down to the floor, press back down to your feet. And then second round, you might take what you just took. Hands can be down, hands can be up, and you might start to lift your legs. So again, we're looking for length front to back, opposed to just looking for height, right? The height in time might come, but really thinking of lengthening from your crown to your toes. One more inhale. Exhale everything to the floor, opposite cheek to the mat, or again, walk your hands forward, forehead to the floor, stay in stillness, or maybe rock your hips. And gently start to slide your hands back underneath your shoulders, elbows draw in, tuck your toes underneath, take a full breath in. Exhale, use your strength to press up to a tabletop, and then crisscross or sweep your feet to the side, come onto your sits bones. Okay, so we're gonna move into a lateral stretch. A couple options here. Option to either take just your left leg out and have your right foot in, or if you wanna take both sides, with both legs extended, you can take both legs extended and you'll keep them there for the whole time. So yogini's choice. Left hand onto the inside line, draw the right shoulder up and back a little bit. Maybe this is where you stay. Maybe you take that right arm back, keep the extension. Maybe you flip the palm, reach up, around, and over. Nice. Gaze can be in any direction you'd like. 5 full breaths. If you're at the angle, lift from your fingertips. Fingertips lift, shoulders lift, torso lifts, come to neutral. Turn yourself to center. Take a full breath in, hands to the floor. And a full breath out. All right, right hand on the inside line. So if you're doing one leg, go ahead, swap legs. Right hand to the inside line. Option to stay here. Maybe you start to turn your torso. You might lift that left arm, flip the palm, lift up and over, and then walk it to your side angle. Nice. And again, 5 full breaths, draw back on your toes, let your whole body be engaged. As you inhale, lift from your hand to your elbow, to your shoulder, to your torso, all the way back up. Turn your torso to the front, inhale. This time, option to stay here. As you exhale, take your time. Start to fold forward. Notice how as you move, you feel it in different parts of your body. adjust, and then maybe you keep going. Once you find your edge and your wide leg forward fold, 5 full rounds of breath. And slowly start to walk yourself all the way back up. Bend into one knee and then the other. And either moving towards Gomukhasana or a crisscross leg position, you can bend into your knees, bring your left foot or shin in front, or if you want, you can bring your left knee atop your right knee, either in a tight crisscross, maybe more of a loose shoelace. So finding a space that works for you, left knee over right or left foot in front of right. Option to stay upright. If you'd like, you can take your arms to a T, take your right arm over your left single or double wrap. Yep, press it forward and up, stay here. Or again, take the hinge. So think of drawing your belly back. That's gonna bring you forward. Elbows might find your knees. You might go past your knees and then drop your head down. And tendency here is for the hips to really like kind of like clench up. So see if you can soften into your hip space enough that feels safe. So you have structure, but you also have a little bit of softening as well. If you're folding forward, think of sending your sits bones back, looking forward so you've got some spinal extension first, and then lift your elbows forward and up. Unravel your arms, unravel your legs, bring both of your feet to hip width distance, keep it at neutral, stay here, or maybe you want to take a couple rocks from one side and rocks to the other side. All right, let's bring it back to center and take that to the opposite side. So this time, if you're doing a crisscross, you'll take your right shin or foot in front of your left, or you'll take your right knee somewhere atop your left knee. Maybe it's tight, maybe it's a little bit looser, so lots of options. Find your foundation, lift up through your torso, stay here, or take your arms to a T, left arm over the right arm, single or double wrap. Stay upright if you'd like, or as you exhale, belly draws back, hinge at your hips, elbows head in the direction of your knees or the floor or blocks, and breathe. And take one more inhale. And exhale. Now start to send your sits bones down, look forward, lift all the way up. And when you're ready, unravel your arms, unravel your legs. Second round, you come to stillness. You might want to take a windshield wiper. You might want to take the windshield wiper into a bit more movement. So as you drop your knees, say to the left, you kind of press to your shins, lift up, and then rock it over to the other side, press to your shins, lift up. So again, option to take as much or as little movement that feels good. And take it to one more time on each side. And then come back to center. Okay, so 2 minutes, up to you. I'll go ahead and keep track of time. So if you want to use this time to come down and rest, extra time in Shavasana, please use that for this time. If there's any additional movement, either lengthening or strengthening that your body is still craving, please give yourself time to work there. And I'll give you the halfway mark. And we're coming about to the halfway mark. And so if you'd like to make any sort of swaps or adjustments, take your time to do so. And we're coming to the end of the second minute. And so take your time, if you're not already there, to come into either a seated meditation, a reclined space on the floor, maybe Shavasana or constructive rest. I will come in and mute myself for the duration of Shavasana. So when you're ready and you have your space, you have your shape, take another big breath in through your nose. And an audible breath out through your mouth. Once more like this, inhale. Exhale. And then give yourself these next few moments of rest. And gently start to bring your awareness back into your breath body. And as you once more are conscious of your breath moving through you, invitation to add physical movement. And an option to stay here, or you might start to transition to an upright seat once more. Invitation to once more connect your palms together at your heart space. And take a moment to notice sensation in your body, movement of your breath, and quality of thought. And thank you for taking the time to move slowly and cultivate strength, for becoming a witness, for adjusting as needed, and for softening where we can. Namaste.